excited to be a shitty spy.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Full Nasty Stream without a fancy title, or was it catchy title? I think I've typed it wrong both times.
Well, that just means that it's not catchy enough to remember, which means that we're doing our job.
Exactly. I am once again, as always and forever, Action Shakespeare, and we are going to play a little game, but let me introduce people first. We have Spider back.
Hello.
We got Public Opinion over here. Was he not back?
I heard him. There you are.
There we go.
We got
Okay, my mic must have not been fully put down. That's the problem with this thing. But yes, I'm here.
Alright, Public Opinion, and we have a very special guest. You might know him from the Totally Blind Let's Play of KOTOR. It is Grant.
Hi, my name is Grant. That's me. Hello.
Also 6 Feet Under.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it got canceled, but Grant is here to join us along with Jeff Stormer.
Greetings, agents.
Who has made this game for us to play, and for everyone to play, really, and it is called Mission Accomplished, if I remember right, with a salute at the end?
There's a salute in the title.
There's a salute in the title. Mission Accomplished.
Salute.
This game was also available as part of the bundle for racial justice, so if you snagged that, it's right there. You can read the rules and play with your friends.
Damn right.
I wish I did this stream a little earlier, because I realized my stream was scheduled till after that bundle ended, so it feels a little silly sometimes, but I know a lot of people got it, so a lot of people can get it, or play it.
Yeah, a lot of people got it and have not had time to parse the giant mountain of things they have purchased.
Among the over 1,500 titles, there is this one.
So if this looks like fun, dig through that pile and unearth this
game
gold
is
nugget.
Very
Heck
good.
Yeah.
So I will once again hand it off to Jeff Stormer to explain what we're doing and what we're playing and everything.
Before that, we have a couple of donations.
Oh yeah,
that
let's get these donations actually.
Yeah, we've got another donation from Pure for the Anti-Police Terror Project. Another donation of $1.01, enough for a Baja Blast from the pouch.
All right, I'll take the rest of these. Your mic is going crazy. I'm sorry.
Of course it is.
I'll take the load. We got 25 from Zara for the LGBTQ Freedom Fund, saying take my wacky Canadian dollars, or sorry, Canada dollars. Different. B Drops donated to the Bail Project, $30, saying let's keep the love coming. And oh shit, we got a new one. Cersei? Is that how you pronounce that? Cercel has donated $100 to the Black Lives Matter Seattle Freedom Fund. Did you know that world-renowned writer Stephen King was once hit by a car? Just something to consider.
Oh, I'm considering it.
I better update this total. Dang, we're at $451 already. Holy cow.
Are you updating the total number of times Stephen King was hit by a car?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Every
how many
dollar
times
gets
we've
him hit
considered
again. Anyways, back now that I've read these, I will hand it off once again to Jeff Stormer. We will get to another block of donations as they come when time allows it. There will be a lot of talking from here on.
So, Mission Accomplished is a role-playing game of super spies and office meetings. There's really only one way to kind of explain the premise of the game, and that is the world as we know it is under siege. A vast international league of larcenists, arsonists, and inventors of nefarious science, an organization known as villains, has set about to undermine the natural order of the world. To combat this existential threat, the United Nations has organized the Department of High Risk Operations. That is the Hero Department. These are the finest operatives in the field of wet works, reconnaissance, cybersecurity, counterintelligence, management, accounting, and human resources that the world has to offer. These are your agents, and at the start of this game, we have successfully stopped villains from a plot that would destroy the world. We did it. We saved the day. Mission accomplished.
Woo!
And thank you. Yeah, take a moment. Let's all take a moment, everybody. Really, this was about you. We did it. We saved the day. Really, I want you all to feel that pride that you feel at a job well done.
Let me take a moment to salute myself.
We did it, gang.
So now,
We're the good
however,
guys.
a few things across the mission went a little haywire. So we have to have a brief team meeting to discuss what went right during the mission and what went wrong. Obviously, being that there were some casualties on the mission, that means that for our purposes, that corner office, you know, the one, and that sweet promotion that comes with the company credit card and access to the company parking space, you know, the really good parking space that's like close to the office, but also close to the Starbucks on the corner, the nice Starbucks, not the one in the building, which frankly, they don't really get the seasonal flavors in the building. So it's kind of like, why would you ever really go? These things are all on the table for one agent that did a really, really good job on the mission. However, because of some things went wrong and because there were because things went sideways on the mission, Hero Department management has to understand who is responsible for what went wrong, because obviously we need to be able to hold someone accountable, because if we can't hold someone accountable, management, mission control is held accountable. And frankly, mission control obviously did everything in its power to do everything right. Obviously, mission control did nothing wrong. Obviously.
Of course. When has management ever done anything wrong?
Management is blameless. Management was blameless, as always. So, that's the premise of the game in a nutshell. It is a Saturday. It is 10:30 in the morning. It is Saturday. It is about 1 p.m. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon. It is specifically the Saturday of the Hero Department's anniversary backyard barbecue bonanza. There's some celebration happening out in sort of most of it's in the parking lot of the office complex where the Hero Department is located.
Oh, I can smell that barbecue.
You smell that barbecue. Rumor has it Jason Mraz is coming. We haven't confirmed that yet. But rumor has
a security clearance. Yeah.
I love that guy and his hat.
I know. So obviously we all want to get out of this meeting as soon as possible, because you know how it is with company barbecues. If you're not there quick, all the hot dogs are going to be gone. All the burgers are going to be gone. They only got like 3 packages of veggie dogs. You're going to have really, if you're not out there quick, all that's going to be left is Roy from accounting's potato salad, and like, come on.
The third best potato salad in the organization.
And there's a pretty wide gap between 2 and 3, frankly.
He puts raisins in it. Who does that?
But, come on, Roy. I'm gonna get you, Roy, a citation dice. We'll explain what that means in a bit, but Roy is getting a citation dice for making subpar potato salad.
Permanently.
We call it Roy's raisins.
It's like trail mix with mayonnaise in it.
Raisins.
Oh God! Don't make me think about it again.
Well, so we're all here. We are in our cozy little office room. Like I said, it's like 1 p.m. on a Saturday. It's hot. It's the middle of summer. The air conditioning is not on because technically the office is supposed to be closed. And you are here. So let me give you a little bit of background about the mission. If you are in the book, if you have the book in front of you, you can follow along. The mission starts on page 52. This is Mission Under the Biodome, the mission itself. Villains, the vast international league of arsonists and inventors of nefarious science, have unearthed the controls for Project Sunny Skies, an experimental system of weather control satellites. One of their researchers, Dr. Phileas Kincaid, has stolen the controls for Project Sunny Skies with the intent of selling them to the highest bidder. This would mean certain doomsday if the controls fell into the hands of villains. thankfully, we all stopped, or rather, you stopped. Mission control. I mean, honestly, like, I'm so proud of you as an organization because, like, you did, you do everything. I'm just here to make sure you're the best agents you can be. At the start of our mission, you have returned from recovering the controls to Project Sunny Skies and stopping a certain weather catastrophe. The world has been saved. Congratulations. However, before we meet our agents, we need to lay out a few things that have gone horribly wrong. Some things that are big and calamitous, the type of thing that would require somebody being thrown under a proverbial or maybe a literal bus. Frankly, spy agencies are large and complex, and it's hard to say. We need to figure out what went wrong. It needs to be big, or it needs to be something that we don't know who is responsible, because we're going to figure that out in play. And it can be very large. For instance, some of your secondary objectives in the mission were to avoid activating Project Sunny Skies and causing a weather catastrophe. Or it can be very small, such as exploiting our social media policy and tweeting about the existence of Project Sunny Skies. Or making an illegal purchase at the criminal auction, which is selling off, dinosaurs and illegal laser weapons and all sorts of stuff like that. So, we're going to go around the table. Everybody's going to come up with one thing that went horribly wrong in the mission. Does that all make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Great. I would love to. I will go first. I am thinking... there were cloning vats in the biodome. And I'm thinking, obviously, like, it's kind of a big problem now that, all of the agents, like, somebody ended up cloning everybody that was in the biodome. And now we're not really sure if you're here or if a clone is here, if you're a murderous clone, if you're, like, a good clone. Like, there's a lot of questions, and frankly, like, HR is really not happy about it. Honestly, like, our insurance provider has been calling us off the hook and saying, like, hey, are we responsible for insuring a clone? Like, there's a lot of clone questions about. We need to figure out who activated the cloning machine and left it running.
All right.
Okay.
Does anyone else have who else wants to throw out the next thing that went horribly wrong?
The biodome was cracked. Or no, sorry, the biopod. The
biopod.
ecopod. I don't know terminology apparently.
The biodome is a real thing. The ecopod.
The ecopod is what I meant. It's really, really expensive, and it got cracked.
It's really, really expensive. Somebody broke the ecopod. Honestly, like, and accounting is responsible for fixing the ecopod. We've been talking to ecopod vendors all day on the phone.
Oh.
And honestly, like, you've heard one ecopod sales pitch, you heard them all.
So, this big auction, it was a place for a lot of villains' activity. Which means there was, unfortunately, some other hero business happening at the same time. Somebody took a shot at assassinating a major player in Villains, unaware that they were a deep cover agent for Hero. So you hate to see that.
You gotta keep your information updated. Can't lose the files on who's an undercover agent and who's not.
I'm going to also chime in with something happened at the auction. There was a mix-up. Somebody said lot 16 when they meant lot 60. And we spent $750 million on a terracotta army.
So I'm not going to say that the weather control satellites accidentally got activated during the mission, but I will say that there is a giant electromagnetic blizzard ravaging San Francisco right now, like, as we speak. Like, who knows if that has anything to do with anything? It's just,
You know what?
Thoughts and prayers.
Honestly, like, it's hard to say. It's tough to say that's just not the next thing that happened in 2020, but
Yeah.
That
Sure,
does-
it's a little unseasonal, but
That does sound like the weather satellite, but at the same time, like
Listen, it could be anything. We probably don't even have to bring it up.
I don't know enough about weather to to dispute it.
Yeah, like who doesn't, experience the odd electromagnetic blizzard?
honestly, our meteorological words are tough. Everybody, our
He sure is.
meteorological research department is out at the barbecue, so like we really can't get the expert opinions.
I mean,
We tried to talk to the
literally-
head of the department, and they are currently in the dunk tank. So
Literally, who can say like what was and what wasn't the cause of the storm?
He's in the
Could
not.
have been.
He's in the not
on a
rigged dunk
Monday,
tank, right?
maybe Tuesday morning.
I do ask that you refer to the storm correctly as a Class 17 apocalyptic murder storm.
Yeah. Class 17 apocalyptic murder storms. Those can happen. A butterfly flapping its wings
Right.
onto a
Weather control satellite control board. Sure.
Yeah. They call like. I don't know.
All right.
All right. So now that we've got our scenario and we figured out what's gone horribly wrong, it's time to meet our agents. To meet our agents, I'm going to need 5 pieces of information for your agent. I'm going to need their name, their pronouns, how they contributed to the primary objective to the mission, which was recovering the controls to Project Sunny Skies. I'm going to need why they were hired by the hero department, which is to say, what is your particular area of expertise? Are you the explosives expert? Are you a world-class hacker? Are you a master baccarat player? Are you an intern on a ride-along? Are you the cafeteria worker? Like, what is your job in the hero department? Why were you hired by the organization? And then 5th, really a fun fact, because the thing about the hero department is we're not just an organization. We're more than coworkers. We're really more like a family. And so I want to get to know you as people, not just as agents. I feel like we spend a lot of time talking as coworkers, but not enough time as people.
Nothing I like to hear from my boss more than that.
All right, I feel like it's what you want. I know that you are all looking for a job that really is more like a family.
Always.
Mhm.
All right, why do we want a minute to think about it, or do we want to just go around the table?
I think I've got mine.
I
I've
also
got
have
mine.
I have mine ready.
All right, Grant, why don't you start us off, and we'll just go around the table.
Excellent.
Oh, okay.
Did you
I'm the
need a
one
minute?
person that didn't speak. Okay. No. I just. Hi, everybody. My name is Agent Capitate, but you can call me D. That's she/her pronouns, after all. I am, of course, a hand-to-hand combat expert. My bare fists are registered as deadly weapons. As you can see, I did have to put yellow zip ties on them just to bring them in the office today.
Standard protocol.
And just a little fact about. Absolutely. And just a fun little fact, I am never anywhere without my cat. Her name is Gobo because she's.
Sorry, you cut
Ye-
off there when you were explaining the reasoning
Gobo.
behind your cat being named Gobo.
Oh, she's just a little explorer.
Of course. Well, hey, you know what? I'd like to give you. I'm going to give you a commendation dice. I would love to give it to Gobo. I would love to, but it doesn't feel like. Then it feels like it's not really your commendation dice. It feels like it's Gobo's commendation dice.
It's okay.
But I would like
I'll
to
give
give
it
you-
to her. She's getting a little antsy in the middle of the meeting.
I do appreciate that you. I do appreciate that you have her in a little tiny suit coat with a little tie. That's very cute and professional.
Mm-hmm.
So commendation dice are the core of how our algorithmic performance evaluation protocol determine which among you are the most effective agents and which among you follow the 7 habits of highly effective Black Ops agents to the highest degree of effectiveness, and really, like, live by the rules of the organization. Live by the rules of the organization. Those principles are, give me just a moment to pull them up and I can read them off, because I think they're really important for us as a team to acknowledge together. Which means finding them in the book.
Page 24 is
Thank
one
you.
spot where they are.
Thank you. So, the 7 habits of highly effective Black Ops agents are a commitment to excellence, efficiency, team spirit, personal development, a respect for authority, inventory management, and fiscal responsibility. So our commendation dice represent your ability to live by the 7 effective habits and really honor the sort of the company's mission, not just as an agent, but as an employee. So take that commendation dice. We love having Gobo around. Really brightens up the office. Why don't we move right along to public opinion? Tell us about introduce us to your agent.
All right. I am Tucker Lane Harris, aka Tucker the Trucker. I drive our mobile command center out in the field. Him, wearing a trucker cap that says "Fishing Accomplished." Aviator shades at all times. That's a fun fact. I've done all the interior decorating in the mobile command center to make it, a nice home away from home for all of us. Very proud of the feng shui we've achieved in there.
Honestly, it looks delightful. It really just, you know what it looks like to me personally? Looks like a home.
Exactly. It's you can't work if you're not comfortable. And I need, I consider the agents to be kind of like, when we're out there in the field, they're like it's like I'm a teacher and they're my school class. It's a field trip.
Sure. So how did you contribute to the mission of recovering the controls for Project Sunny Skies?
I drove everyone safely through the, between the site and the Ecodome through the sandstorm.
Sure. Use the proper name, Class 17 Apocalyptic Murder Storm.
Yeah, which drove everyone safely through the Class 17 Apocalyptic Murder Storm.
Which, now that you mention it, it is odd that the Class 17 Apocalyptic Murder Storm started directly over top of the Ecodome, where the Project Sunny Skies controls were located.
So strange.
That is odd. I'm not trying to imply that somebody activated, but it does seem odd that it sort of seemed to. Now, actually, the more I think about it, the more I realize that, like, a cone of lightning shooting into the air and then forming the Class 17 Apocalyptic Murder Storm feels suspicious. I don't want to make a judgment call yet, but I just feel like there's a lot of facts for us to consider.
Listen, a butterfly flapping its wings. That's all it is.
fair.
Anyway,
That's fair.
my name is Noah Scape, also known as Agent Butterfly. My pronouns are they, them. I am an escape artist and trap expert. I was my part of the mission was like scanning the area for traps and making sure that none of the other agents like fell into them. Fun fact about me, I only eat raw food.
Really? I mean, honestly, like I read a book about, well, I guess it wasn't so much about that. It was sort of just about, like, it was about eating, but also about like praying and loving. And I feel like I really opened my eyes about a lot of things. Take a commendation dice for that. Really, thanks for bringing up like important life stuff. Also, Tucker, I forgot to say, take a commendation dice for really, like, committing to making our office feel more like a home. Both of you take that commendation dice, because really, like, a home is really about like taking care of yourself. Like, all of our bodies are temples, and we need to be respecting that.
Absolutely. I feel the same way.
Also, on an unrelated note, the chili cook-off has been delayed for 20 minutes due to weather, so we might actually have time to get out there in time for the chili cook-off.
Yes.
Oh, here's hoping.
Is there chili not cook-off?
There is one person. Well, it says entrant N dot escape is submitting a raw chili. I don't know. I'm assuming they're going to be there, but also the rules dictated that if all contestants are not at the chili cook-off at the time of the start of the chili cook-off, then they are disqualified.
I understand.
All right, and last but certainly not least,
My name is Lydia Armont. My pronouns are she, her, and I like to make flower arrangements for my coworkers, personalized to their tastes and hobbies. I like to find what fits their personality and represent it in flowers.
and we really value having you around.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Agent.
Take a commendation dice because honestly, like, you know, until your flower arrangements here, I mean, honestly, it looked like a trucker decorated this office. It was frankly unbearable.
Oh, it wasn't that bad.
No, it was pretty rough. It was pretty bad. So, with that, we're going to give just a moment for public opinion to come back, and then we'll explain perhaps the most important part of Mission Accomplished.
I forgot to say what I do.
Oh yeah, right. I think that's probably important.
I'm a trained assassin. I was hired to operate crowd control and defend the agents. I also like to. I also as a side mission, I was hired to eliminate high priority targets if needed.
You know what? It's not really the work is the work, and we value that. Frankly, I've seen what you can do to a human body. It is I see it when I close my eyes at night because I am shaken to my deepest core. Frankly, there was a level
very
of
serious
violence and brutality present that, like, honestly made me question, you know, the order of a just insane universe.
It's kind of hard.
It's, you know what, I get it, but it's also you know, that's the job.
Yeah, I try to keep a good attitude. You know, when approaching stuff, I think all life is really precious, so it's very serious when they call me.
It is. All life is precious, which is why. But sometimes you know, lives need to be taken away.
It's just how it is.
That's how it is in the spy game.
Oh, get down. No. I can't stay mad at you.
My little office buddy. I love office buddy. Oh, he's trying to take off. He's trying to take off the tie. Oh, he's hissing.
To my bonsai.
Oh,
he's getting a little fussy.
Oh, ow. Oh, it's on my arm. Help.
No, it's okay. Just let him be. Let him be.
Okay.
He'll get bored in just a second.
There's a lot of blood.
There's more in the cooler. We all know about the blood cooler.
Can someone run and get to the blood cooler real quick? Normally I would ping Cheryl, but I think that she is actually, it looks like she's doing a duet with Jason Mraz right now. Good for Cheryl. Honestly, good for Cheryl.
Well, good for her. I'll go get it.
Really, I mean, just feeling like, really, you know, she needed this. Honestly, like,
I have some steak tartare in the blood cooler, so could you grab that for me?
Yeah. Anybody want anything? We might be in the meeting for a while. I should probably get like a soda.
Can you get me a Pib Extra?
Okay. Is regular Pib okay?
Not a Mr. Pib. I need it to be a Pib Extra.
Okay. What if it's sold out?
In that case, I will settle for a Mr. Pib.
Okay. Okay.
If I can get a Pib extra, I really want that extra, but I will settle for a Mr. Pibb if I have to.
Would anyone else like something?
A glass of milk,
Okay.
unpasteurized, please.
Everyone's always talking about that Baja Blast. Have you got any of that? I haven't tried it.
Pouch or
Do you have
no pouch?
$1.01?
I mean, it's got to be the pouch, right?
Yeah, I hear
If
that.
if they have any of the tuna salad left, could you get that and take out the salad?
Okay. I'll be right back, everybody.
Also, could you actually get me the Mr. Pibb Baja Blast if they have it?
Oh, look.
Is that
Okay.
a thing?
Can you
It's
make
very
sure that my
popular.
sashimi is not room temperature? It needs. I think I might have
Okay.
left it out.
Okay. Anything else?
Oh, if you're asking, I'd like some water.
Okay. I'll be
Can you
right
see if
back.
there are any other roast beef sandwiches in the vending machine?
Oh, okay.
And if there are any raw beef sandwiches also.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be right back.
All right, thank you.
While Lydia is out, I'm gonna take this opportunity to read a couple donations because we got a couple of them that pushed us over the $500 point. So we have reached our third stretch goal. Noodly Vampire Queen donated $24.42 to the LGBTQ Freedom Fund. Said, "Tell Candy Spider I said she's cute. Okay, bye."
Thank you, Vivi.
And we had an anonymous $51.43 donation to the Bail Project. Thank you so much.
Oh, that was my friend Mike. He DM'd me a receipt.
Nice. Extra proof.
Yeah.
Hey,
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that.
Well,
Once we are all back, are we all back and settled and ready to dive in, or we take a second?
I'm ready to go.
Right.
Okay,
Have
I'm back.
a list of various uncooked dish names.
They were out of raw beef, and also only had roast beef. I got a couple, so there's that. Pouchless Baja Blast was all that was left, and there was absolutely no Pib. I think they took it all for the cookout.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Mr. Pibb was a big sponsor this year. You know. Oh, which reminds me, I actually that's on me. I should specify that I technically got it wrong. It's actually the Hero Department Backyard Bonanza Cookout sponsored by Mr. Pibb. Taste the Extra. Trademark.
Okay,
And
Class 17 Apocalyptic Murder Storm.
that's very catchy.
The sponsors really insist that we say the whole thing.
No, it flows. Oh, and here's the water.
Thank you.
The cat is already drinking out of the water. All right, so now we come to the most important part of the mission evaluation process, and that is paperwork. So you are going to look to the agent to your left and right. You are going to, assuming mission control is not at the table because I wasn't on the field. One of the agents, either the agent to your left or the agent to your right, you can pick whichever one you choose, did something to really positively contribute to the mission success. They went above and beyond in pursuing a secondary objective. They contributed to the primary objective in a really meaningful and powerful way. They did something to really help seal the deal. The other person, the person that you didn't choose, so the person on your left or right that you didn't choose the first comment about, they did something to really gum up the works. They did something to really complicate the mission, or were inefficient in something, or really just got everyone in trouble, made some problems, anything. They gummed things up. They mucked up the operation. So what happens now is you are going to privately DM me on Discord 2 pieces of information. Include the agent's name. You're going to say what that agent did to really help the mission, and what that other agent did to really complicate the mission. Once I have those, I will arrange them into roughly chronological order, and we will basically take the mission from the top, go over what happened, and then we'll figure out who's gonna get a promotion at the end of the mission and who's gonna get redacted.
Oh,
You gotta keep things private.
It's important. Anonymity is important so that we can ensure that you are as candid with your feedback as possible.
Oh, Anne's on the project too?
Yes.
I like her.
See.
She doesn't spread secrets around, and I like that.
I do too. I really like that. We in management really value having her on the team for reasons that are classified. Good old Snitchy. I mean, that's a name that we named her for reasons that are also classified. What a canary.
And yes, now while we are typing out our snitching and commendation, command line charity will bring up the list of charities for you to donate, and also the form so you can tell us how much you donated, and we can read it out on stream and add it to the total.
Let's see.
I hope it's clear how much I really do love playing this game.
You're definitely having a lot of fun DMing it or running it. I have DM'd you.
Let's see.
So many points of data about this man.
Oh no. I'm sorry, but I just saw out the cooler that out the window that they're using the blood fridge that is holding the non-alcoholic beers for the cookout.
Whose blood did I get?
Yeah, whose blood is in me right now?
Yeah, which blood fridge is that?
Do you feel different? Do you?
I feel an emptiness inside that seems to that seems to be only fillable by the blood and the souls of the living, and I'm seeing sunlight through the window, and the accursed Daystar feels like a sure death sentence.
Oh,
Also,
man.
I bit my cheek with these fangs, and they really hurt. So no.
Well, okay, yeah. What I asked was, did you feel different?
Yeah.
No, that's pretty standard management feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much management 101.
I appreciate the mission accomplished lore we're building.
We need to throw out those. We need to throw out those roast beef sandwiches. Frankly, it sounds like they use some kind of garlic spread, and it is unbearable.
Oh. I mean, that's not the part that I can't bear about them, but I sympathize with you in being unable to deal with the sandwiches.
They were out of bear sandwiches.
Speaking of which, Lydia,
Yeah.
did you check on my sashimi?
You're
Oh,
what? I'm
wait.
sorry.
My
Was that yours?
sashimi.
Was
I
that
think
your sashimi?
Yeah.
Oh, that's that makes a lot of sense actually, because Gobo ate it.
Go, bro.
That's
Oh.
scamp.
You rascal.
Well, I can't get mad at you.
I will give Gobo and D by extension a citation dice because of definitely eating that sashimi. That was definitely Gobo and no one else. And we should really investigate this matter no further because frankly, Gobo. Frankly, it was Gobo.
Like the Gobo.
You're right. I believe
Gobo.
that's Gobo for you.
So citation dice, as I talked about, combination dice are really good. Citation dice are really bad. Even one citation dice can completely tank your chances at a promotion, or it can literally do nothing. It's hard to say. Your goal is to make it out of here with as few, or ideally no, commendation dice. Spoilers. That's not going. I'm not going to let that happen. All right. So I believe. Let me just double check. All right, I have everyone's. If we want to take a brief coffee break, I have everyone's anonymous reports. I need to arrange them in an order, and then we'll get started.
Mm-hmm. I take out my bowl of coffee beans and begin munching on them. They have not been roasted at
Anyone
all.
mind?
Did you bring enough to share?
I pour the raw coffee beans, the unroasted raw coffee beans, onto the table and split them out into even little piles around the table.
All right, take a commendation dice. That's really great inventory management. That's really great. That's inventory management and that's team spirit. That's a really great work. Really
I
great work.
appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Would anybody mind feeding any of those to me? Just pop them right in my mouth. You know, company policy. I'm not allowed to use my hands, being
Because
deadly
the
weapons
murder
and all,
weapon, sure,
inside
sure.
the office.
Open
Yeah,
up.
that's fair.
Lydia shoots just flicks with pinpoint accuracy a bean into your mouth.
It like hits the back of your throat
Yeah.
hard and like. Lydia, I'm gonna have to give you a citation dice for that. That seemed like that was,
Oh.
it's thoughtful. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like there's an inefficiency of we're gonna have to. That's a medical claim that we're gonna have. That's paperwork that we're gonna have to file later.
I'm sorry. Muscle memory.
So about those terracotta soldiers. Then we write down how many there were.
Let me check. Let me see. 1 second. I know I have the notes around here somewhere.
Because there are 143 in the warehouse, and that's all of them, right? As far as everyone knows.
Let me see.
In the world?
Well, no, I mean of the ones we bought.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Let me think. I know I have that list here somewhere.
And everyone just agrees. I just got a really cool Chia pet for the mobile command center.
It says here that there were about 8,000.
Is that before or after cloning? Because we should really make that number known.
Hmm.
Well, there's 8,000 terracotta sculptures. There's an unknown number of clonacotta sculptures.
Got it. The clonacottas. Got it.
Right. The ones we made through terracotta cloning.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the thing that works.
Hey, that's deep science, is what that is.
Mm-hmm.
There's a fine line between kiln and clone.
Yeah, it's just like you switch the phonemes a little bit and you got it. We're on that lexical science.
All right, I think I've got what I need to get started. So, I'm hoping that we're all getting out here. I see that Jason Mraz is taking what looks like he's ended. Well, all right. I have bad news. I have good news and I have bad news. Who wants the good news? Which one do you want first?
Oh, bad news first. It's always better to go the bad news first.
It looks like Jason Mraz has ended his concert.
Oh man.
Do you want the good news?
Oh, please.
I'm seeing a lot of people standing and clapping. I'm wondering. I think there's a chance that we might be able to get an ovation.
Do you think
Oh,
so?
nice. Okay, encore.
I mean, usually
Encore?
they just like leave, right?
I feel like I know normally a musician will just leave at the end of their concert, but like it's seeming like the people are real. There's a one more song chant going on.
Gosh.
Oh, could they do it? Could
No.
they do it?
I hope they
fingers
can
crossed.
convince them.
I don't think I've ever heard of a musician doing one more song before.
Oh my God, he's come back out.
Oh,
Oh, thank
Oh
goodness.
my God, everybody! All right, let's try to get through this as quick as possible because I
You
don't
got
know
him.
how many more songs he's gonna do.
okay.
I just felt betrayed by him ever since he went acoustic.
I get it. Believe me, I understand. That neck of his still looks real juicy though. Just full of blood. I'm sorry, I got distracted. All right, let's get into the meeting.
I understand. I love my food bloody too.
So I'd like to start from the top and just kind of run through. We have a lot of questions, a lot of things that I think we can kind of like work through. I just kind of want to make sure I understand where everything is at. Agent Harris, let's start with you. I have here a report that obviously we accommodated a very large line item in our budget to let's see, what's the specific wording here? Truck camouflage? But I have here a report that you refuse to drive anything but your truck and refuse to disguise it in any way, making us very obvious in our entrance and exit. Could you explain that?
It was my professional opinion that the Mr. Pibb branding was going to make us more conspicuous than, what I've currently got going, which is, a rather nice kind of hippie school bus Grateful Dead thing.
Look,
Like, nobody suspects that. Everyone kind of wonders, hey, what's this Mr. Pibb truck doing here? And then they come and try and get the delicious Mr. Pibb. And that's just more attention than we need.
So you're saying you know better than the Coca-Cola Corporation that owns the Mr. Pibb brand, according to a Wikipedia search?
no disrespect, Agent Harris, but Mr. Pibb, as everybody knows, is the most popular soda in San Francisco. We would,
They call it the San Francisco treat.
yeah, no one would have looked twice at a Mr. Pibb truck. It's just the beloved brand.
Like
I'm
cock
just saying
pouches.
we get a lot of they really like they own a lot of shares. They own a lot of shares of the hero department. Frankly, Mr. Pibb as a brand owns a lot of shares in the United Nations. Really, like, I don't know if it's really your place. I'm gonna have to give you a citation, Dice. I don't really feel like it's your place to second guess our friends at Mr. Pibb. You've got me so mad. I'm just thirsty. I know that we were out of it at home. I'm just gonna have to. Thankfully, I brought in my briefcase a delicious can of Pibb Extra. That sweet spicy cherry soda really really wets the whistle after a long hard day in the office. Don't you just want to crack back a delicious can of Pibb Extra? Taste the extra.
You're
This
very
stream is-
well prepared.
This stream is not affiliated with Mr. Pibb with Coca-Cola Company.
Thank you for the disclaimer. Thanks. Take a commendation dice for Jeff Stormer is going to give you a commendation dice for not getting us shut down by the Coca-Cola Corporation.
Oh, thank you.
Coca-Cola Corporation would never bankroll some kind of extra governmental guns for hire.
No, never.
I am always the one getting distorted. My microphone's bad.
So, all right. I guess that settles that. But Harris, can you also perhaps explain why the cracks in the EcoPod are roughly I don't want to describe them as truck shaped, but certainly like truck-esque in proportion.
Well, the once the storm had started to rage, it became clear that we needed to make a very quick extraction of the team inside the ecodome. And with the electromagnetics playing havoc with the scientific technology doors, I had to do what I had to rescue the team.
Got it. Understood. Well, you know what? That's quick thinking, and that's thinking for the team. And I'm upset with you for disrespecting our friends at Mr. Pibb, but I am going to give you a commendation dice for helping to get your team out of a tricky situation. Appreciate that. Take that commendation dice.
Thank you.
All right. So I'd like to move on. Well, now that you've mentioned the, please again, it's only gonna cause more confusion.
Apocalyptic murder storm.
Thank you. Now that you've mentioned the Class 17 apocalyptic murder storm, I do want to segue into. I want to talk to Noah for a moment. Noah, we do appreciate that you made a detailed checklist on how to prevent Project Sunny Skies from being activated.
Yeah. Good job.
Take a commendation die for that.
Oh, thank you.
But so really, I need to hear from you specifically. I think I don't know for certain. Obviously, we can't confirm for certain, but the lightning shooting into the sky, the booming voice that we all heard in the air that said Project Sunny Skies has been activated. May God have mercy on all of our souls. The Class 17 apocalyptic murder storm. It all seems to point in a direction. So I got to ask you, in your professional opinion, as the sort of chief organizer of the Project Sunny Skies activation prevention checklist, do you have any inkling into who may have pushed that button?
Well,
The long red button that said activate Project Sunny Skies.
Well, let me take a really quick look at the checklist of how to prevent Sunny Skies from being activated. Just going through my papers here. It looks like step 1, don't push the big red button. Step 2, don't push the big red button. Step 3, don't push the big red button. Step 4, don't press the big red button. And step 5, don't press the big red button.
So
it must have been somebody you can't read.
Well, I do that, but I do have to emphasize, I do need to note one thing. Really, I mean, this was a delicate operation. This was a detailed operation, and the fact that your checklist switched from the word push to the word press halfway through, that's just adding confusion because that feels like 2 different actions. I'm going to have to give you a citation for that.
Darn it.
Really, we need verbiage to be consistent through the document, or else you're going to get user error questions. Honestly, whoever pushed or pressed, see, now I'm getting confused, and whoever activated that button.
It's that classic writing mistake of feeling like you need to mix it up when all that does is just make things
Believe me, I get it. I'm working on a novel about a cool mission control officer that gets wrapped up in a mystery. I believe me, I understand it.
Listen, I may be an escape artist, but that doesn't mean I won't escape responsibility. I will take my citation dice for this.
Now,
there's no
I do agree with the argument that this probably is someone or maybe something that can't read probably push that button.
It's an accessibility issue. It's really a failure of planning from the top then, if it's a matter of ability to read.
Is it? Because I do have multiple notes here that say that Dee's pet caused a minor confusion amongst innocents and enemies, and I do also have a note that says Gobo sat on the clone vat control panel. So I'm wondering.
It's warm.
I'm wondering a little bit. It feels a little bit like maybe like the cat was already walking on control panels.
Listen,
Now,
the
now the
warmth
thing with
generated.
you do not know how many big red buttons that this cat sees every day. I mean, it's part of my training to get her used to these sort of scientific panels, but these things take time. We were all rookie agents. We all had our first mission sometime. And yes, Gobos was 4 years ago. But the point is, I'm sorry. I cannot accept. She's not even an employee of this organization. I don't think that it's a jurisdictional issue, is what I'm trying to say.
You know what? I have
Well,
heard a
as
lot
the
of.
person in charge of the cat,
Oh, have you ever tried to be in charge of a cat? It is. There is no such thing, I assure you.
listen, all I'm saying is that you got accommodation dice for your cat. Does that not work both ways?
I'm just saying. I am saying I've heard a lot of lines in the last 4 years. I've heard a lot of bull. I've heard a lot of excuses, but I have never seen someone fight so hard for their fellow agent. Take that commendation dice, because that is the true. I want everybody to look at D and Gobo right now, because that is the truest form of team spirit that I have ever seen.
Oh, it's hard for me to look anywhere else. Just of that
You
nose.
all can. I want you all to know what real team spirit looks like.
Mhm. It's good to have bonds.
Also, take a citation dice, because I'm pretty sure your cat caused the apocalypse. I mean, that's just. But-
I'm sorry, the
Well,
what?
fair's fair. All right.
Sorry, the cat caused the what?
Sorry, that's, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I hate to do it, but I'm gonna go ahead and take that citation dice for me for not using the correct term. That's personal accountability. The Class 17 apocalyptic murder storm.
Mm-mm.
Thank you. You know what? Take a commendation dice for that. For being willing to call out mission control on mission control shortcut. Do take a citation, because like we don't need a backseat person running the meeting.
Yeah, of course. Sorry, sir.
Well,
But you know what? I respect that. I'm really. I mean, we're co-workers here. Yes, I make more money and I have more authority, and I could fire all of you and have you taken off, and you know, you'd wake up in a rock quarry and you'd never know where you were again. But like, we're all on the same level here, right? Like, we're all just working a 9 to 5. I mean, technically, yes. We do ask that you have 5-day on-call periods in case you need to be dispatched to the field, but we're all just working a 9 to 5.
Mm-mm.
And the 9 or the 9 hours in between are 5 days on. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good to reflect on these things. I bet that's gonna really spice up your novel.
Thank you. You know what? Thank you. Take a commendation dice. Take that. Thank you. Thank you for see that. That's why. That's Lydia recognizing that, you know what, that mission control is people too, and I appreciate that. No one else asked about my novel. No one else. I dropped that hint, and no one else ran with that. Thank you, Lydia.
I didn't know you were, I didn't know you wrote stuff. I'll have to figure out a new arrangement to
Okay,
send
take
you.
a citation dice. Nobody likes to suck up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I understand the game now.
We are all human to the bitter end.
Speaking of Lydia,
What are the green dice?
so the green dice are the third kind of dice, are very rarely used. Those are anarchy dice. If the agents absolutely cannot agree on what is happening, or if as sometimes happens, the game devolves into a screaming match between agents, mission control is allowed to take an anarchy dice, which counts as a citation dice against every single other agent.
Oh goodness.
Basically, it is the dice equivalent of me banging a gavel. But it might take away all of your good results.
Oh dear.
Lydia, I think we need to to touch your base on you, which is I have a report here.
Wrong?
Well, I do have here a report that you identified one Dr. Sinestrix as a target for assassination. The reporter, the anonymous reporter, notes that they recognize Dr. Sinestrix as Eric from the mailroom, You know Eric. He uses to make macrame for the office.
Oh no. Oh no.
Now here's where I kind of need to dig into this, because obviously, now it is an unwritten rule that we assume best intent. But we all know that you hated Eric. We know that you hated Eric from day one because he upstaged you at the company craft fair.
Oh, he. I try not.
Don't try to play innocent.
When you made those macrame flowers, I saw the look in your eye.
We all saw the look in your eyes.
It's true, but it wasn't because of that. Not this time. It wasn't because of that. I saw him with the checklist of what not to do, and he was about to do the opposite. I had to take a shot.
He was about to push and press the red button?
Both.
Oh my god.
Both? Did he not see 5 times I said it? Don't.
I think he was willfully ignoring it.
Oh my god. We'll take a
5
commendation
times
dice for that.
Sure.
That was an attention. That's a commitment to excellence. I'm also going to take a citation die. I realize that he's dead now. I realize that he died, but I'm gonna make a note here on the table just so that we know that this citation die is specifically for Eric from the mail room. Just so that we know. I just want us all to know that citation die is for Eric. Now check. We will send that to his next of kin.
He may have been cloned, so you can send it to his next of clone.
That's actually a great point. That's a great segue. Take a commendation die for a great segue.
His
you.
next
I'm gonna have to take that macrame down out of the truck.
His next of kin.
Citation for Clone Eric and Terracotta Eric.
All right. I do want to get into a question. I want to get into a question for Agent Harris.
Shoot.
I've got a report here that that you were the one to give the high bid at the auction. You sewed the mission up. You secured the controls for Project Sunny Skies. Great work. Great work. Take that commendation die for pulling that off. However, that does bring up the issue of the $750 million terracotta army. That were you aware that they come to life under the shadow of the moonlight?
That was part of the auctioneer's spiel. I thought it was hyperbole. And I did not, after all the chaos with the assassination and everything, things were kind of in an uproar, but they were still, you know how villainous auctions are. They were just moving along. So when they called, the lot number, I thought it was the one for the control panel. I rushed in, waved, my number. Turns out I misheard that. Like I said, that was lot 60. I thought it was 16.
Yeah, that all sounds right.
Now, is it possible you only had the funds to win both of these lots because of the savings on the truck camouflage from our beloved sponsors?
Do you take a commendation dice for that? Also take a citation, because really, if you're gonna name the sponsors, we really need you to name the sponsors. But take one of each.
Yes, it is. Due to the generous contribution of the sponsor, that we did have the funds to, save the world. So for that, after this, I will immediately go put the Mr. Pibb brand of the Coca-Cola Corporation on the mobile command center, no matter what it does to my carefully manicured feng shui.
You know what? Take that commendation dice. That's a real respect for authority. We really appreciate you saw an opportunity for improvement. You said you're owning a mistake and you're passing it along. I really appreciate that.
Speaking of passing it along, it occurs to me we may want to file this the thing about the moonlight to the Vanguard department, they might want to actually take a look at this.
That's a great point. Great point.
Also, speaking of passing it along, Jason Mraz just did a stage dive and is being carried by everybody, and I want to get out of here because I want to touch him.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I want to. Look at him. Look at him floating along like just a bag of blood.
So
Just
carefree.
majestic.
So
It's nothing special. We've all touched Jay.
Take a citation die for not recognizing that not all of us have been lucky enough to touch and or drink the soul and blood. You know what? Just take the dice.
Well, fine. I guess some of us have more Instagram followers than others because we have adorable little friends and can punch the heads off people. It's a very unique niche I have on Instagram. Okay.
Listen, just because I'm not the best at taking pictures of my exclusively raw dishes doesn't mean they are any less delicious. I'm sorry.
Most people don't even recognize your account as a cooking account. They just think it's gardening. Your hashtags are all at cross purposes.
Social media leaves
I'm
a trail.
trying my best.
Taking an anarchy dice. You all. This is poor team spirit from everyone. Frankly, you're supposed to be coworkers. You're supposed to be friends.
Yeah.
You know what? We're gonna do an exercise.
Family.
We're supposed to be. When you're here, you're family.
Was last year's sponsor.
Yeah. We don't want to get in trouble.
Boss, take a citation dice for messing up the sponsors.
You're right. All right.
you.
Yes, you're right. This is not looking good for mission control. We're gonna do an exercise real quick. I got a couple things left, but I'm gonna put a quick pause on that. I want us to go around the table and for everybody to say one nice thing about somebody else around the table.
Who should start?
Well, Lydia? Why don't you go first?
Okay. Tucker.
Yes.
I like your hat.
Thank you.
Tucker, would you like to go next?
Sure. Lydia, your flower arrangements always brighten up the dash at the mobile command center.
Oh, thank you.
Take a citation. You can't just hand it back to Lydia. That defeats the purpose.
It was nice.
I'm glad that you said it. I'm glad that you both had that moment, but that defeats the purpose. D, you go now.
Well, Tucker, I think that I have not said yet that I appreciate that I always see you properly use your turn signal, even in the most dire of escape situations.
I mean, driving something as large as the mobile command center, last thing you want to do is surprise your fellow drivers.
See, now nobody has said anything nice about Noah. Noah, I really like your Instagram account.
Cute.
I think it's a great gardening account.
And D, I really appreciate your cat's ability to slink out of traps.
Now, I have two things left that I want to touch on. This is nice. We've got some positive feedback to end the meeting. Noah, I have a report here that you got things back on track on the auction after the chaos of the assassination. Really appreciate that. Really think that really kind of benefits everybody. I think this is really kind of what our team has been missing, is that kind of acknowledgement of good deeds. So I just really want to make sure that that's noted in the meeting. You didn't post about this on social though, right?
Well, there might have been something in the background when Gobo was playing with a new bright red toy. You know, I didn't have my bokeh frames. You know, the filters only do so much.
My
Instagram is only focused on food. It doesn't catch anything else.
And that's, you know what? Take accommodation dice for that. That's great. That's commitment to excellence. That's staying on mission.
Oh, thank you.
D, Gobo, you're on thin ice.
I mean,
Now,
I feel
Lydia?
bad. I feel bad for shit talking. I feel like I should take a citation dice as well.
Okay, take a citation dice, but do it because nope, you're not. We don't need you. You don't tell people when they take citation dice.
Yes, sir.
So take a citation dice for that. Lydia?
Yeah?
I think we're going to end on you. We're going to say that your flower displays apparently got a lot of great feedback that they really help people get through a tough mission together. My only question is, flower display materials were definitely not on the list of approved mission materials. Can you explain how you got a hold of some flower materials? Because you're only supposed to bring your standard issue mission kit.
Of course, like all flower arrangements I make, it is procure on site. There is a beautiful field next to the mission, or next to my drop-off point, where I was mostly stationed for targeting purposes, and I was allowed to procure them officially.
So you're saying you plugged this wouldn't have happened to be field EX148C, would it?
It might have been B. Oh no. Was it C?
Did you pluck the miracle flowers?
Oh,
The flowers that would allow people to comprehend all languages?
This does explain why I can read Mandarin.
Oh, well, take a commendation dice for learning Mandarin. That's real personal development.
They say that to learn a new language is to gain another soul.
That's
what the
really beautiful.
dice say.
Really great investment in yourself.
But
Lydia?
I also understood a couple of pieces of graffiti as old speak, so I don't know if it was actually a good idea, I will admit.
So I think I have everything that I need. I think we've got some good reports on everybody, and unfortunately, it does look like Jason Mraz has left. But I think this might be a second encore situation.
Oh,
So I think we might still have a few minutes. So now we're gonna roll some dice. Are y'all ready to roll some dice?
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing everybody's gonna do is roll all of your commendation dice. You're gonna roll all your commendation dice. You're not going to add them together. What matters is the individual numbers that you roll from 1 to 6 and how many of those numbers you rolled. 2 6s is better than 3 5s. 3 5s is better than 1. 1 6 is better than 3 5s. 3 5s is better than 2 5s, etc., etc., etc. Once you've rolled your dice and you've laid them out however is easiest for you, you're going to then we're going to roll our citation dice. Let me know when everybody's rolled their commendation dice, and we'll move to the next piece.
I rolled my commendation dice.
Yep. Dice rolled.
So after you've rolled your commendation dice, now you're going to roll your citation dice. Remember how I said citation dice can either tank your chances at a promotion or do literally nothing?
Mm-hmm.
So what's going to happen is every number you roll on a citation dice, it's going to take away all of that number. Any commendation dice that match are going to go away the second you roll a given number. So if you roll 1 6, all of your 6s disappear.
Okay.
If you roll a number that you don't have any of, nothing happens. So roll your citation dice and take away any dice that match. It is one for all. So if you roll, like I said, if you roll 1 6, all of your 6s disappear.
Okay.
I literally inverted the number.
Okay.
So last but not least, I have to roll my citation dice. Oh God, that's not good at all. And Eric from the mailroom rolled a 5. Last but not least, I'm going to roll my anarchy dice.
Oh, right.
Any dice that match this number from any single agent on the board
Oh dear.
goes away.
Oh.
Everybody's ones go away.
Haha.
All right. So now I'm going to go around the table. And what I want from you is 3 pieces of information. Your high number, how many of that high number out of how many dice you have after your dice have gone away. So, for example, 2 6s out of 3 dice. Remember, if your citation dice match your commendation dice, they disappear from the game. They are destroyed. They are gone, so only count the dice that are still in play. Let's start with D. What have you got?
I have 2 4s out of 2 uncanceled dice.
All right, and Harris?
I have 2 4s out of 3 dice.
One moment. And Noah?
I have 4 out of 4 5 dice. That came out confusingly. I have 4 5s, and all 4 of my dice are 5s.
Got it.
I have 1 5 out of 3 dice.
You said 1 5 out of 3 dice?
That's correct.
Okay. Perfect. Then with that, we are ready for next steps. We're gonna lay out everybody. We're gonna explain what happens to everybody next. We're gonna start with Agent D. Unfortunately,
Agent Capitate, please.
You're right. Capitate. Unfortunately, there have been some restrictions on. Weaponry, some new limitations that are being placed on us, and we are being forced to scale back authorizations on weapons, which means, unfortunately, due to your listed role in the organization, we are unfortunately going to have to let you go. The good news, this is for everybody, the good news is we have filled Decapitate's position. Congratulations to newly promoted Agent Gobo.
Oh, I'm so proud of him.
Congratulations, making full field agent. Really proud.
Ever
4
met.
years in development.
It's what? It's been a long internship, but I feel like they're ready.
I'm gonna start charging her rent.
I don't think that's going to be an issue, and I think that's when 2 very large, scary-looking men drag you off into the abyss. I believe Gobo is going to be inheriting really all of your property for the contract that you signed when you joined the organization. Which brings us now to Harris. Harris, unfortunately, we have faced some budget cutbacks, so we're going to have to reposition you in the organization because we do have to sell the truck for scrap. The mobile command center. Unfortunately, really, we don't have a lot of options. It's the priciest asset that we have. I know there's a lot of our decoration budget went into that, so that's going to free up a lot of money for culture initiatives. We're going to find you a great desk job. Don't worry, you're never going to have to drive again.
The stationary command center.
But yeah,
I understand. I agree. Which brings us to Lydia. Lydia.
Yes.
This was really tough. Obviously, there was unfortunately there was only one position available, and we would love. Honestly, I mean, I'm gonna say this to everybody. I would have loved. I mean, I guess everybody except Capitate, who is. If anybody asks, Capitate never existed. Just want to make that clear.
Agent Gobo's listening.
So I know it's tough. I know that I don't feel like I like competition, so I really don't feel like anybody probably loves it, especially in sort of the corporate rat race. But I want you to really keep that all in mind because the promotion is yours. Congratulations.
Oh, well, thank
Corner
you.
office, company credit card. Use it responsibly.
Oh, I will.
Oh, I know you will.
Congratulations, Lydia.
Congratulations. See, which brings us to Noah. Noah,
Yes, sir.
I'm sure you heard about the promotion at this point.
I sure have.
I'm sure you're probably feeling a little sad, but I have good news. You see, we shared this with some people, and we shared this with we shared your results. We honestly we ran your results through the app a few times because frankly it seemed like it might have been a technical issue. But no, you just pulled so well on your tests, on your performance evaluations. Everything just did so well that you've been deemed too important for high risk missions like this. Like your skill level and your performance on the field was simply so exceptional that like we can't have you on low risk missions like this anymore. You're too important.
Uh-huh.
So I am so excited to announce to you that you are being given Omega level 7 security clearance. This is the highest
security clearance.
This is the highest security clearance that we have to offer in the organization, and I cannot wait to see what you accomplish. I mean, technically I won't see what you accomplish, and as I'm saying that, the black bag comes over your head, and you are taken off to a non-disclosed location in international waters, where for the next 2 years you are reconditioned to be the perfect killing machine.
Mm-hmm.
You are broken down and built back up, and then deployed on the highest lethality, the most dangerous missions that the hero department has to offer, missions with an approximately 99.97% lethality rate.
Memory.
Which
Congratulations.
I don't have that.
Mission accomplished.
and as the screen fades, as Agent Scape is sent out on their first like high lethality but extremely important mission, a smile spreads across her face as she takes out her checklist and turns it around and reveals step 6, do press the big red button.
Oh shit! Oh no!
The master escape artist has escaped all responsibility and has arrived at the highest possible security clearance.
Oh no!
The mission has
Mission.
only just begun.
Oh no! Oh no!
I look forward to working with you.
And the last thing that we see as the credits roll is just Agent Gobo sitting at a desk, swirling in a chair. Agent Gobo's office is frankly huge.
Good job.
Especially to scale.
Tucker's
lot
in
of
a
shots.
broom closet with a terracotta soldier.
I forgot to be
And
playing
that-
my spy music this whole time, so oops.
And that is mission accomplished.
Thank you for running this. This is fun.
I love this game.
God, I love. Yeah, it's
I
a
love
really
this
fun game.
I love it so much. I really love being mission control. It's my favorite thing in the world.
Did not manage to successfully get the optimal result with a score of 0 this time, but
At least you didn't get the double tie.
Yeah. So a thing for the stream is if two people tie, if two people get the same high number of dice and number of high dice, so if two people also both get like 2 4s on 2 dice, well then that just shows that your test results were so similar that you are obviously colluding and you're both double agents and you get dragged off into you both get dragged off because you were
Excellent.
trying to pull something. Oh, and I should note, because the chat has asked, unfortunately, I mean, technically, I guess the only people that would have made it to the barbecue are Lydia and Gobo. But on the upside, Gobo did get to be on stage with Mraz.
Gobo is
Yeah,
a very
yeah.
classy barbecue date.
Thank you all for relaying this with me.
Thank you for hosting
Oh,
it.
thank you. Yeah. This is fun. This is good. Let's go.
Yeah.
like I
Fuck you,
said
Eric
last
from the
time,
mailroom.
Honestly,
This
yeah,
game-
fuck that
Fuck
guy.
off, Eric.
Eric,
I'm glad he's gone, and his clones will be gone soon.
And thank you, Mr. Pibb, for not sponsoring us, but for being just a delicious drink
It
anyway.
would be cool.
No, we
if
don't have to be nice
they
to Mr.
gave us-
Pibb anymore. Fuck Mr. Pibb.
Fuck Mr. Pibb. Fuck off, Mr. Pibb. No corporations here.
Yeah.
Where on the Dr. Pepper knockoff hierarchy does everybody land?
I'm sort of on this Dr. Fun. I feel like I'm a Dr. Fun.
Okay.
Mr. Pibb is what happens when you don't have the guts to finish grad school.
Well, that's why it's Pib Extra.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to admit it.
I have wanted to write. I want to tell you that I have wanted to write a story about two best friends who grew up in a small blue-collar town. One of them decided that he was going to escape that town no matter what, and the other realized that the people of that small town needed him, and really, like, he couldn't leave because, like, this is all he ever knew. Like, this is all he ever had. So, you know, one of them goes off to college and comes back, and the first time they meet, they realize that they're never going to see eye to eye. They're never going to be best friends again. And that is the tragedy of Dr. Pepper and Mr. Pibb.
God. Incredible.
God. Okay. Well, I mean, we have a little bit of time to kill if anybody wanted to get some plugs in, do their thing. We're still alive.
Okay.
I mean, I want to plug
just
this
check-
donation link with the
Aw.
125 separate charities. We got a few national, but many local. So look at the state in which you live in this list.
Yeah, donate to your local charities.
Yeah. And the bail funds.
And then tell us about it so we can work towards making our lives miserable for your entertainment.
Yeah. We're only like $250 away from explaining the entire Kingdom Hearts series chronologically.
We're astoundingly
Ooh.
close to that.
Oh, that does sound good.
And from there, only 250 more to reading the B-movie script as together.
It's gonna be wild, and good God, we have
Have
12
you heard?
hours to go.
Have you heard of the tragedy of Dr. Pepper and Mr. Pibb? I thought it's not a story that PepsiCo would tell.
Yeah, it's not their brand. Dr. Pepper is a free agent.
I love the part in episode 1 where Anakin asks if Yum Brands are here to end slavery, and Qui-Gon Jinn has to say no.
Oof. Oof.
Oh boy.
Oof.
Man, yeah, I didn't realize that Dr. Pepper got around like this. Apparently, it's in Europe and South Korea, it's a Coca-Cola brand, but in Canada and Oceania, it's a PepsiCo brand, and in the U.S., it's its own thing.
Yeah, it's
That's
its own company that's sort of
Yeah.
like that, you know,
It
so
is-
any given machine and any given restaurant can have Dr. Pepper if they want.
It is the Switzerland of the Cola Wars, yes.
Yes. Exactly. Oh, that's a lot of dice just hanging in the air.
Oh, dear.
There you go.
Up there, dice. Oh.
I like how
The
they
chat-
appear with like a whoosh.
The chat is requesting a table flip.
Oh, there
it
you
happened
go.
while I was reading the chat. Okay.
I wasn't even looking at the chat.
Always
I
table flip.
do like that the art and like graphics have stayed, which means that the
All this beautiful art.
and the beautiful art and the beautiful positive managerial affirmations.
Be proactive in applying change to the organization.
Synergy.
Have
It's
fun
important to
along
have
the way.
fun along the way.
And lead with vision.
Think in terms of solutions, not problems.
I'm enjoying just my little steak tartare that I drew next to me.
It does look delicious.
So that is a meat with an egg on it.
Mission accomplished.
Oh shit. Okay. I'll do the plug-in for Grant. 6 Feet Under
Oh,
is a
okay.
very cool series of podcasts, I guess.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
I've followed it for years. I maybe not as closely as I should, but I'm catching up, and everybody should catch up along with me. A lot of LGBTQ members, and just a very great, safe environment in the Discord.
Ix, who we had on earlier, is also a member of
Yes. A cast member of quite a few of our series.
I would argue that 6 Feet Under is a large part of the reason I know all the friends that I have now, which means that it had a huge impact on my life.
Yeah, kind of same.
Yeah, there are very clear, like, causal lines of why I'm in this group to the existence of 6 Feet Under and
its predecessors.
That's really gratifying to hear. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you, Grant.
As far as the content goes, in fact, our composer just finished the final episode of our current Mouse Guard season, which is my favorite of the 7 and counting Mouse Guard seasons.
Is that
these are seasons in like the spring summer sense after all.
Yeah. And that would be Thyle, correct?
Yeah, that's Thylacinus.
Yes.
Another good friend of ours who may or may not be making a Mega Man song right now.
Thylacinus will also be on during our 4 p.m. Jackbox.
Oh, fantastic! That's right. Yes.
So, yeah, stick around for that. Everybody should stick around for that. And Jeff Stormer, you do the Party of One podcast.
That's right. I do.
Where you do one-on-one tabletop sessions, which is just a great concept on its own.
Which we have failed you by being multiple people in this time. I'm very sorry.
I'm
making you break away from your brand.
I also failed myself by writing a game that literally cannot work with less than 4 people, so I get it.
But you've also written many other games that do the one-on-one thing and multiples. What is it? What your itch page, I guess, would be
jeffstormer.itch.io. You can find Mission Accomplished. You can also find all of my other games, including Jonathan Frakes Demands Your Attention and You Must Not Give It to Him.
That one's really good.
Which is a 2-player game in which one player plays a human being trying to do their chores while the other player plays a ghost that has inhabited the form of Jonathan Frakes, beloved actor from Star Trek, who attempts to get the attention of the person doing chores by just asking beyond belief questions. It's very good.
It is.
Yeah. When I was looking over the games you did, or I listened to the podcast episode on Big Fight Feel, I really want to play that myself.
Big Fight Feel's great.
Yes, for fans of professional wrestling and the dramatic stories told within the ring, Big Fight Feel is rad. Gotta get that with our wrestling OCs one of these days.
It's a good game.
Speaking of wrestling OCs, 2 p.m. block. Am I getting that right? 2 p.m. block is PO will be putting on a Fire Pro EFED show with me and Words.
Ooh.
Which does feature a lot of our OCs. We will be doing commentary like the real wrestling.
Heck yeah.
Gotta put on our best announcer voices.
Yeah.
And say, by God, probably a fair amount.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
How many of our wrestling OCs did you do, Pio? Did you all of them or just some of them?
On this card, it's just some of them.
Okay. I'm gonna draw my wrestling OCs so that I can find take part in wrestling games.
And speaking of Words, he is on the dock. Next, we're gonna throw it over to him in a few minutes. Once again, thanks everyone for participating and joining us for this block. And stay tuned while we switch that over. We're just gonna host his channel, so you can stay right here and be comfy if you want. And with all your bot links and such. Yeah.
Thanks again, and keep donating. Good night.
Please. Good night. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Until next time, Agent.
Farewell.
Mission accomplished.